How's it going, everybody? Louis here. I'm on holiday in Tenerife and I figured it was a great opportunity to go around the island and show you all of the interesting cars that we don't get back home. Come with me. One of the first things we saw in this absolutely gorgeous location was this super cool Trike thing. I don't really know what the base vehicle was or how they made it. All I know is it's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I see a lot of people convert Reliant Robins into Trikes, and those look good, but I'll be honest, this looks a lot better. I just love how long it is and the size of those wheels. Moving swiftly on, this Jaguar XJ Sovereign was questionably parked up against a tree. Lovely car though. Now that is how you park a Jaguar. We saw this vehicle multiple times. It was a sort of late 80s, early 90s Opel Corsa A. This was sold in the UK as a Vauxhall Nova. That's right, a Vauxhall Nova. This thing was just cool because it was in daily use. It looked like it was kind of beat up, but also like well maintained, a beautiful balance of like nice looking vehicle with some obvious wear and tear. The wheels were nice, the windows were nice, especially the blacked out one at the back, and it was cool because we also saw this car in multiple different places throughout the holiday, even at night time, as you can see. We saw this Alfa Romeo 159, not that unique to Tenerife, but a car I've always wanted. And then moving over, I saw this cool Japanese looking 4x4. It's a Daihatsu. This is a Daihatsu Feroza. It was sold in the UK as a sport track, and it's really not that common anymore. Production ended in 2002 and began in '89. This is a digger thing, I don't know. And that digger thing is not the only one I've driven. I actually have quite a lot of experience. I really want to drive this thing. This shopping centre was so cool, I loved it, and they had the coolest parking garage I'd ever seen. Look at this thing, a down ramp that goes to a basement under the complex, beautiful red and blue, gorgeous colours, and you get down there and there was just plants, wonderful lighting, and a cool little red Volkswagen, but that wasn't all. They've even got an F1 car. Sadly, it's not real. And they have this cool little ice cream truck. I was a little bit too big for it, but my gorgeous girlfriend fits just fine.
You recorded me?
No. They had a really cool Lexus IS 250. Not that special, but the colour on this was great, and I am a massive Lexus fan, as you know. I'd love a 430 myself. This is a Fiat Tipo. It's a 5-door hatchback, sold in Italy, Spain and France. Pretty normal car, but not something you'll ever see on British roads. They had a Vauxhall Corsa. Never seen one of those before. Let's get on to Hyundais. They had this, a Hyundai Lantra. I don't think I've ever seen one of those in the UK. They also had this Hyundai Coupe. Really cool looking car. Again, not sure I've seen one of those in the UK. Both of those Hyundais were actually sold in the UK, but the numbers were low and they're super rare now, especially the Lantra. This is the first ever car I owned, a Hyundai Getz, and it was in the exact same colour as mine. There's a picture of me with my old one. So this is a Hyundai Staria. They don't sell these in the UK. They began production in 2021. It's a front-wheel drive vehicle, and it's got the same kind of matrix design that some of Hyundai's electric cars have in their lights. Renault Megane CC, this is a convertible. I very nearly bought one of these because I like the handbrake and the glass roof, but I ended up with a Peugeot 307cc instead. They had this super duper cool old Mercedes Wagon driving around as a taxi in daily use, and that wasn't the only Mercedes that we saw here. This is your standard Mercedes E-Class. Nothing out of the ordinary, I just really like them. They had a lot of Mercedes here, and to be honest, that one I just showed you was perhaps the best condition. Another E-Class here, but increasingly more beat up. Not as beat up as this one though. A W163 generation M-Class, nowadays known as a GLE. Back to the sedans with my favourite Mercedes of the holiday, an old 190D. Known internally as the W201, this was produced from 83 to 93. Silver, all the paint gone, beat up to hell, but still in daily use. I'd absolutely love a car like this back home. This is known as a Citroen Dispatch in the UK, but here in Tenerife, it's actually called a jumpy multi-space. Interesting. Crazy little red three-wheeler. Who the hell stole my car? So the end of the holiday was upon us, and a relatively normal Skoda picked us up to take us to the airport. It was quite a nice drive. There's a lot of scenery. You can look at the planes coming in and taking off. There's this weird looking car here that doesn't even have any wheels. I really like airport buses. Is that just me? I obviously like van life. I'd love to get one of these gigantic buses and turn it into a home on wheels. Maybe one day if this YouTube thing pays off. The little baggage handler vehicles, these are cool. They got sliding doors, great amount of torque, nice vehicles. And this is called an X-Yo-Yo. It's kind of like a Chinese version of the Renault Twizy, I suppose. I'd never heard of these before, but the airport had literally like 50 of them all parked up. Crazy money they must have spent on these little electric city runabouts. These vehicles are cool. They have like the raised compartment for passengers with accessibility needs. This one has a cabin that's cut in half. There's one of those stair vehicles, and I always wondered, like, what do airports do with these vehicles once they're too old to be used? It's not like you can just sell them on and they can go on to do something else. Oh, and I forgot to mention, we saw several police vehicles. The police here use Ford Cougars, and they carry handguns. Anyway, the holiday was excellent. There were lots of establishments with live music along the beachfront. There was also whatever this is. Stitch and Harambe, together forever. My girlfriend and I did some target shooting at the hotel. I did alright, but my girlfriend managed to win the entire thing, despite the fact that she'd never even used an airgun before. Yes, babe. We also went to Sham Park, which is a gigantic water park, and saw this little homie swimming about. Tenerife is also home to one of the nicest McDonald's I've ever seen, definitely rivaling the Burger King in Menorca, link in description for my review of that. We also came across this, a deeply Christian and family-friendly establishment, I'm sure. Anyway, the holiday was brilliant. I loved it. The hotel was great, the food was great, the staff were lovely, the pools were amazing, the sea was just great fun. Not a bad word to say about Tenerife. I had a great time. Thank you so much for watching this. If you enjoyed it, there's a bunch more complex and long form content on my channel reviewing interesting cars from days gone by. Go check it out.